We shall see indeed. I want to refer to this because this is so absurd. This is something that grinds my gears on a regular basis, but I suspect we're getting close to the end of it now. This, of course, is, you can see, the world's most famous missing child, Madeleine Mccann. And next to her is an image of Christian Brueckner. And I'm always loath to put these two side by side because I have never associated them together, because they're not associated, actually. It is a figment of the imagination of the German police, the German prosecutors, and British mainstream media that these two are linked. And they've tried their damnedest. And Christian Brueckner is, to all intents and purposes, a thoroughly disgusting human being, but he's due for release in a matter of weeks. He's been serving a 7-year prison sentence after being convicted in 2019 for the rape of a 72-year-old American woman in Portugal in 2005. He was acquitted of a separate rape charge at a trial last year, where they attempted to shoehorn poor Madeleine Mccann into it to such a degree that they brought in detectives working on Operation Grange, the British police investigation, to testify, to say that Christian Brueckner's name they'd come across his name in files. And they have all attempted to shoehorn this man into being the one responsible for taking missing Madeleine. Well, I've said right from the beginning, when he was first brought out into the sunshine, which was July 2020 during C19, and he was all over mainstream media and all the usual suspects, This Morning, all the pushers of the abduction narrative. And I said, this is a lie. This it doesn't even add up. It makes no absolute sense. And many people did, and they used old information about him again to try and nail him. And the German police and the German prosecutor, Hans Wolters, has been absolutely determined. But it's over. It is over. But my concern is a genuine one. And this one, I think I probably do share with them to a degree, is I believe him to be a dangerous man. And I mean, anybody capable of some of the things that he's done is dangerous. So obviously, there is a great concern there, and he will need to be watched and I think probably monitored, because I don't know. At the moment, they are debating whether to fit him with an electronic tag or not. And they're saying that the release is understood to be between the 7th and the 17th of September. Well, that's next week. And whatever else he's done, taking Madeleine Mccann was not one of those things. And I think all of the people and all the organizations that have got involved to push that are reprehensible. And I include in that the Sun newspaper, Channel 4, and they bodged together this documentary recently, one of the worst that I've had the misfortune of reviewing, and they bodged it together, and they've got so many intangibles about this man, and that includes people that he has allegedly attacked, but again, nothing related to Madeleine Mccann other than he was in Portugal, and many people were in Portugal. And one of the reasons that I object to it so strongly is that whenever a fake narrative like this is pushed, whether it's about Christian Brueckner or about, Madeleine still being alive and fake Madeleine surfacing and everything, is it distracts us from getting to the real truth of the matter, from drilling down and getting to the nub of the problem of what really happened. And that obviously benefits the people who are ultimately responsible. But it certainly doesn't benefit British taxpayers. And we're still paying through the nose for Operation Grange. It's very wrong indeed. And they just failed hand over fist. I've actually seldom seen a situation like this, where the police and the media have come together so strongly to try and make a crime fit an individual. That's extraordinary stuff. It's extraordinary stuff. So anyway, it's all over. It's all over. They've tried and it's failed. And as I say, I am concerned about him as a human being and other people's safety, but I'm not concerned about him to do with Madeleine Mccann. And I still know, as indeed does everybody, that the people who were there when Madeleine went missing are the people who have yet to be thoroughly investigated. They certainly haven't been investigated by Operation Grange, the British investigation, which has cost a minimum of £14 million. And they've not been investigated. They were ruled out right from the start. And many people know that this is a problematic investigation, to say the least. I believe it's absolutely a cover-up, which implicates a series of prime ministers, as well as a series of home secretaries. Home secretaries' job is to keep permitting these payments to be handed over to the Metropolitan Police to continue with Operation Grange. So they're trying to bamboozle us with lies, and all they really need to do is they need to properly, thoroughly investigate the people who were there. That's as good a starting point as any. I mean, child protection officers will tell you that when a child goes missing, it is a high probability that it was somebody around the child who had access to the child who was involved with the disappearance of that child. And yet the 9 adults, 6 of them doctors, have hardly been investigated, like a cursory investigation. They refused to do a reconstruction, except for a Channel 4 program by detectives that they had hired out of money that was given by the public, which after a few days they said they would need for legals. I don't know how much legal expenditure you have when a child goes missing. Surely the money should be in the campaign to find her. But we all know that that is not the case, and that has not happened.
It's time to wake up with Sonia Poulton.